Welcome to this video on spreadsheets in Microsoft Excel, and we have covered if statements before, and we've covered a nested if, and we're actually going to show you how we can use the ifs function. So we're going to recap our if and nested if and then show you how this ifs function can make your life actually a lot easier. So let's go and check it out. So before we get into the ifs function, we need to understand how a normal if works. So let's just recap that quickly. If you remember the if function, we have if, we have a condition, and what must happen if that condition is true, and what must happen if that condition is false. So if we take this scenario, we know that the number of sales, if it's between 0 and 250, it's bronze. If it's more than 250, so for 251 and more, it's gold. So our condition here, if you remember, we would say equals if, and we know that you can't get negative sales. So if the number of sales for this particular person is less than equal to 250, then we know that they are going to get bronze. So I will put in double quotes bronze, so that it displays the bronze word. So that's what must happen if it's true. If it's not less than 250, then obviously it's greater than 250, including 251, and then it's going to be gold. So then I will display. If it's false, we will put gold. If I run it, you can see all those that are below 250 are going to be bronze, and those above 250 will be gold. We could have written it, for example, if D6 is greater than 250, then the true statement would be gold and the false statement would be bronze. So that's how we did an if statement. We did do a video on if statements, so you can go check that out if you want more practice on that. But if we come to this scenario where we've got three possibilities, so anything below 250, including 250, would be bronze, but above 250 and up until 600, including 600, would be silver, and anything above 600 would be gold, then what we would do when we've got three possibilities is we would use an if statement, ask the condition if it's true, and then if it is true, we would display what it is for that condition. But if it's false, then we would jump to another if statement. So in this false area, we would place a brand new if statement, and in this statement we would have another condition, and if it was true, it would do that part, and if it wasn't, then it would do that. So basically, if we check for bronze over here, we will display bronze, but if it's not bronze and it comes to the false, then it must be either gold or silver, which we then check in the second if statement. So let's go try that over here. So we said equals if, so I'm going to check if the sales is 250 or less. If it's less than equal to 250, then I know that the answer is definitely bronze. But if it's not bronze, then it could be silver or gold. So instead of just writing a false statement of silver or gold, here is where we're going to write a second if statement inside of the if statement. That's why it's called a nested if. And my condition here, I'm going to check for gold because that's the easy one to check. If that D6 cell is greater than 600, so more than 600, then obviously it will be gold. And then if it's not bronze and it's not gold, then the only other possibility for this false of the second if would be that it is silver. So we close our inside if statement, and then we must close the outside if statement. And so here we can see, if we scroll it down, it does all the values correctly. So that is our nested if. Now we could actually do this nested if in another way using the ifs function. So the ifs function goes if with an S, and we have a condition and what it must do if it's true. A condition, what it must do if it's true. A condition, what it must do if it's true. And we can keep on going. I think you can actually get up until 127 different conditions. Not that we'll probably get to that level, but basically you are checking this condition. If it's true, it'll do that. But it first checks this condition. If it's true, it will do the true part and it will stop. It will not go on further. So if you want the third condition to happen, then you need to make sure that it's definitely not the first condition, definitely not the second condition, and it must meet that condition. So let's go try that example. And so what I'm going to do is say, okay, equals ifs. So now I'm going to check if it's bronze, so below 250. So if D6 is less than equal to 250, then we will display the word bronze. Very similar to what we did with the if statement and the nested if. But now instead of doing a false part, we're going to do another condition. So it must look something like this, where we compare cells with values or other cells or other calculations, and then what must happen if that criteria or condition is true. So now we're going to check if D6 is less than equal to 600. But you might be saying, but it's got to be between. Well, if this condition is false, when we get to the second condition, it's obviously going to be above 250 because it can't get here unless that one is false. So we definitely know that it's not less than 250. So that's how we know that it'll be above 250 up until 600. If that is true, then we're going to say the word silver. and then comma, and now let's continue with the rest of this scenario. If we get up until 800, so if D6 is less than equal to 800, so when we get to this condition, we know for a fact that it's definitely not less than 250, it's definitely not less than 600, so it must be more than 600 up until 800. And if that's the condition, we're going to say the text gold. And then if it goes up until 1000, so if D6 is less than equal to 1000, then we know that the result will be platinum. So our condition, what happens if that first condition is true? Our second condition, what happens if that second condition is true? Our third condition, third is true. Our fourth, if it's fourth, is true. If I do that, we can see our results over here. And there it works. Now the problem comes if I make this above 1000. If I make it 1005, it gives an error. So if you want to have a situation where you don't want that error, then you must always include another condition. Now the quick way to say, well, if it's definitely not any of these conditions, then the last condition is we actually just going to type in the word true. So it will always meet the final condition. And if we get to this step, what is it that we want to do if all of these are false? And I'm going to say no match. So if all of these conditions are false, when it gets to that condition, it's by default going to be true and do that. So by doing that, we will say no match. And it still maintains the other ones. It's just if we do by some chance go over 1000, it'll just go to the no match. So if we had to apply ifs to this scenario, we would say equals ifs D6 is less than equal to 250, then we want the bronze to be displayed. If D6 is less than equal to 600, because it will definitely not get here if it's below 250, so it must be above 250, and we're just checking if it's below 600. Then we want to say the word silver, and then technically if it's not silver, then it must be gold. So then we will type in true, so this will be the final default option, and then it will be gold. Because if it gets to here, we know that it must be more than 600, which means it's the gold case, and there we will get the exact same results as we did earlier. So that's how you can convert your nested ifs into an if statement. And what's nice about this is you can go on for multiple conditions. So to recap, you have your condition, and what happens if it's true? Very similar to an if statement, but there's no false. You just go another condition if it's true. It will not get to this condition if any of the previous conditions are true. So the moment it meets a condition that's true, it does the true part and it stops. So that's why if you want a case of what must happen if none of the criteria is true, then make the last condition just be the text true, and then what it must do if it's that case. Okay, so that is your ifs statement. Just take note that this function is available in the 2019 version of Excel as well as the 365. So if you've got an older version, it might not work there. So if you're lucky enough to have 2019 onwards, then you can use the ifs function in your spreadsheets. So go try it out in Excel today. If you found this video useful, then go check out our YouTube channel at Mr. Long IT and Cat, where you can find more Excel content. Just go check out the playlist or the courses tab, and you'll find lots of resources there. And make sure that you follow us as well. And remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.